Today, we are going to convert this button design mockup into a Flutter custom button. Let's get started. Before we start, if you want to learn how to create this button design mockup, I'll put a link in the top right corner of the screen. Let's get started. First, we are going to put a folder called widgets, and I'm going to put the custom button under that folder. Call it custom button the dart. Here I'm going to create a stateless widget and call it custom button. Let's import the material.dart. Save. So the first step, what we want to do is to define which properties you want to include in your custom button. So first, let's start with the text. Final string text. Let's have also a function that is onPressed. We are also going to define a double height and a width. And since there are three types of buttons, see again the mockup, three types of button, we are going to create an enum called custom button type. And we are going to put a field, outline, and shadow. And then let's add this in the properties, custom button type, and we're going to call it type. Next, let's add also a margin, which is a edge insets geometry. And let's add a color. That means the color of the button. We are also going to add a border radius. And let's put a text color and a text style, so we can modify the style of the text moving forward. Now let's generate these fields into the constructor, and let's have a semicolon and save. So in here we have all of the properties that we need for the button that we want to create. I'm going to require this text because it's mandatory, and the onPressed. Okay, let's define also a default type. Custom button type should be field always as default. And the color will be const color 0xff, and then let's get the color in the mockup, this color. Copy and paste it here. That is the default color. The border radius should have a default of 30. The text color should have a default of white color, and text style, let's define a text style. Let's put a text style of, in the mockup we have a text style of font size 15, and it is a regular. So font size of 15, and it is irregular, so we don't have to specify a font weight, but let's add a default of font color. Okay, let's add cons and let's save. Now all of the defaults have been assigned. So let's go back to the custom button demo and add the buttons in here. So first I'm going to create a column, children, and then let's put the main axis alignment into center, and let's add the button, custom button. So we would have text is going to be sign in on pressed. Let's add a print for now, print this outlined button sign in press, just to make sure that this button is being clicked. And then let's specify a height of 60, a width of the whole screen, which is double that infinity, and let's add a margin, and then it is edge insets that all, or symmetric, maybe symmetric, horizontal 20 and vertical 10, and the type would be custom button type that outline. Okay, and then let's copy this button, and here let's remove the outline, so it's going to be the filled one, and then this one is going to be the shadowed one. So let's call this filled and let's call this shadowed, and let's see. Now we are going to build the UI of the button so we can see it on the screen. So first, in the container, let's assign the height that we specify, and let's assign the width, and also let's assign the margin. We can also, let's also add a decoration box, decoration, and assign the color. So, but for this color, we have to validate first if the type is equal to a custom button outline. We need the inverted color, so it's going to be colors that transparent, else color. So let's save. So now we have this button field and button shadow. At the top, it's going to be the button outline. So for us to be able to see it, we are going to add a border. So border dot all. Let's add a color, and width is equal to 1. Let's save. So now we have this outline border, and then we have to specify the border radius circular, And let's assign the border radius. And then let's save. So now we have these 3 buttons. If you go to the mockup, so that we are creating these 3 buttons, but we want the shadow effect on the button shadow. So we have to put in the decoration a box shadow. But in here, we have to validate also first that if the type is equal to custom button type shadowed, then that's the time we are going to put a shadow effect. So it's going to be box shadow. The offset should be, let's check first in the mockup. The offset is 0 and 10 for X and Y, and the blur is 30. So offset 0 and 10 for the X and Y. The blur radius is 30. And for the color, it is 30% of the black. So we're going to use color.rgbo. So black is 0, 0, 0, and then the opacity should be 0.3 because it's 30%. Let's save. So now we have this nice effect on the 3rd button, which is the shadowed button. And then we are going to add now the text. So in the container, we have the child. Let's add a text here. And then we are going to assign the text. Let's save so we can see for now. So we have that sign in. And then we are going to assign the text style. So text style. Let's save again. But as you can see, in the button outline, the text is white. So we have to validate again. So in the color, if the type is outlined, let's just copy this, paste. If the type is outlined, then the color of the text should be the color, main color. Else, it should be the text color, because the text color has a default color of white. So in the future, if you want to change, you can do it. So just save. Now the color is correct, but we want to center this text. So we can wrap this text into a center. So it's to be centered. And the last thing that we want to do is, if we click the button, it should execute the onPressed function. So in here, we can just wrap with the widget, the container, the gesture detector, and then on tap, we are going to put onPressed. Save, and now let's press the button. Now it's working. And that's it. I think we are done with converting this mockup into a Flutter button. If you like this kind of videos, please like and subscribe. See you in the next episode.